The Kremlin's enablers on state TV are increasingly saying the quiet part out loud. A new report in the Daily Beast examines how Russia is airing its ultimate revenge plan for America.
So as Putin and Russia continues to look like the aggressors that they are more and more by the day, apparently they're preparing to air their ultimate revenge plan for the United States, which is seemingly just to sow more discord through propaganda.
Hey, Micah, the focus of this new propaganda is, again, to sow discord in our politics, and they want Trump world to know that they're on their side. There's also Tucker Carlson that is promoting the same agenda. They're essentially trying to tap in not only into Trump and his potential presidential run, but his entire base.
But see, the issue with that is that how much more can you really divide this nation in any meaningful way that would come from Putin or Russia? You know, this country's already divided, especially among cultural lines. You know, we have our fight on our hands right now about Roe v. Wade, you know, all these states that are making it illegal for abortion. We have, you know, the cultural fight on critical race theory. We have the cultural fight on, you know, just what types of policies we want to have moving forward in this country. And the world over is looking at Russia for doing exactly what it's doing. They're just trying to expand their territory. So there's really no way that Putin can frame this to make himself look good. He's already failed at that. He's already lost that fight. And the longer he stays in Ukraine, the more he's going to look horrible. There's no way he can change this other than to leave.
But it is very interesting when we start talking about Russian TV. It is very interesting that, again, you have older Russians who depend much more on television. If we're trying to understand what's going on Russian television, trying to understand why some of the older Russians may actually be supportive of Vladimir Putin, obviously so much of it has to do with their own life experiences.
That's right.
And, of course, the world they knew and that they were indoctrinated into.
And as Joe Scarborough in this segment pointed out, you know, some of the only people, especially within Russia, who are, you know, more on board with what Putin's doing are people who are in older generations and they grew up in the Soviet Union. And so in their eyes, in their perspective, they're just gaining back what's theirs. But again, the rest of the world simply doesn't see it that way. And, you know, Putin's been threatening, you know, oh, we got these nukes. Remember, we got all these nukes because they don't want the West to interfere. But it's like, again, I point this out all the time. Let's say that people just let you do what you're doing, right? Well, what happens once you take Ukraine? How many years do you think that's really going to take? Apparently, you thought it was going to take a few days or some crazy mess like that. But how long do you think that's going to take? And then when you finally get it, then what, dude? Then what? Is the rest of the world supposed to just adapt to the new Russia? No. I mean, this man didn't think about this at all. He didn't think about this at all.
Well, Jonathan, initially they had portrayed this conquest of Ukraine as something that could be very easily accomplished. In fact, they have described it as potentially taking no more than 11 minutes, jokingly, but they expected it to take maybe 5 days at most. They're actually predicting that it might take as much as 30, 40 years to fully subdue Ukraine because of the sentiments that are clearly not welcoming Putin, as he had predicted that it would happen. So the state media is trying to consolidate the population and support this war.
Putin's level of power and influence that he's had over the years has literally rotted his brain. Okay, not only has he insulated himself within a country, you know, where he has a large group of patriots who still remember the Soviet Union, but he also has surrounded himself with men who won't tell him the truth, clearly. I mean, look at what's going on. Every time they go and they bomb some central square where there's people, and all these reports are coming out where thousands of Ukrainians are being slaughtered by Russian soldiers and by the Russian military. They're like, that wasn't us. Then who was it, dude? Who was it? I mean, come on. Like, you don't look like anything but a bully who wants more power. That's all you look like. And no one around you is able to spin this in any type of an effective way whatsoever. And tens of thousands of Ukrainians are being slaughtered for nothing. For nothing. Because at the end of this, Putin's not going to accomplish his goal. It's not happening. It's not happening. And unfortunately, a lot more people are going to have to die before this comes to an end. And this is why it matters who's in office. And it's not like the Russians, have had a choice of who to put there, but this is why we need to get involved, because we don't want our country to get to a point to where we don't have a choice in who's leading it.